Our next group has been working under the direction of Nancy Degnan. Kristen Dillard will be presenting on the team's work with Litterpic.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen Dillard, and on behalf of my team, I would like to present to you our semester findings, as well as our suggestions for using gamification to spark community action. Thank you so much. So as you can see, this is my team, and throughout the semester, we plan to increase local environmental sustainability, incentivize participation, and create a fun and educational way to learn about litter prevention. So within this presentation, I discuss the overview, then we switch right over to the client and company. I will discuss the client ask, then we talk about the suggested implementations, which include gamification framework, community engagement, diversified funding sources, and lastly, we look into the potential corporate sponsor, and then we summarize it all. So I don't know about you all, but when I walk down the streets of Manhattan, I often see a lot of litter and trash. But I also, on every single corner, I see a lot of trash bins and recycling bins. And the impact of litter and trash on our own health and also the environment is drastic. According to EcoSchools, the major impacts of litter involve the danger to public health, the risk of fire hazards, endangering or even killing wildlife, and causing serious damage to waterways. And oftentimes, if we are to pick up trash and throw it out, yes, it will be disposed of by the sanitation departments, but what if I were to tell you that if you were to pick up that trash, take a picture of it, put it in the trash bin, that you would, one, be helping to create a safer and cleaner planet, but also receive a monetary gift? Would you download that app and start picking up trash? Our client, who is actually in the audience today, believes yes. Alec is a Maine native and recognizes the importance of litter prevention. He kickstarted Litterpic to raise awareness about creating a healthier and safer planet by picking up trash. He believes Litterpic can be the remedy towards trash buildup in local communities and wants to do something about it. So this is when he came to us and presented us with 3 challenges, and we were tasked with developing a comprehensive business and strategic plan for a new Litterpic gamification initiative. So when you look at the first challenge, it's the user experience. We combined our team with a primary research, secondary research, and financial and data analysis team in order to come up with these solutions. So for the first one, we looked to design optimization. Our suggested implementation is for there to be a gamification framework. Next, we saw that there were a lack of users for the Litterpic app, 3 to 5 currently, to be exact. Our solution was to find a targeted audience, leading us to a suggested implementation of community engagement. Lastly, we found the last challenge was that there's only one source of funding coming from Alec's pockets. That's a major issue. So as a solution, we wanted there to be multiple revenue streams. As a suggested implementation, diversified funding sources. So as I mentioned before, our first implementation is a gamification framework. But before I go on, I first want to define gamification, since this term is going to be used all throughout the presentation. Gamification is the process of adding games or game-like elements to something in order to encourage greater participation. So we found that currently the Litterpic app enables users to upload pictures of collected litter. But with our new approach, we want it to be an app that allows users to compete and win prizes. Next, as I stated before, there are currently only 3 to 5 users based primarily in Maine and the UK. With our gamification approach, we want there to be an enhanced community engagement and increased users across the globe. Lastly, I also mentioned that there is limited funding via the founder, Alec, but also a board member. Through gamification, we believe that there will be increased donations via additional users, grants, and partnerships. So our new approach builds on Litterpic's existing framework and introduces some enhancements, as you can see here. So this is a walkthrough of the game. There will be an event or challenge from your organization, then different teams are created. You're tasked with picking up litter and uploading these images. You also learn facts about litter prevention, which is part of our educational aspect. You earn points on litter stats, which is the Litterpic leaderboard, and then you win. Or maybe you don't. But if you don't, you could start right back over again and engage in a new event or challenge. So I want to walk you through. To your left, you will see that there is the older Litterpic app. To your right, we wanted to create something a bit more engaging and a bit more bubbly. So I'm going to take you on a user journey of Litterpic. So meet Pico. Pico is going to be the e-pet mascot for Litterpic. Just visualize this for a bit, right? Pico represents actually Maine's state-bred cat, which is the coon cat. And here you're going to see a calendar of the different events that you need to register for underneath your organization. You're going to follow the drop down and then you'll find your organization where the teams are created. Next, you start your journey of picking up litter and uploading images. Following, you're going to learn facts about litter prevention from Pico. Then you earn points on litter stats. You will be able to see who you're competing against and the different Pico mascots of, your classmates or maybe your colleagues. Finally, you win, and this is where you're going to see the leaderboard on litter stats. So taking you back into the information part of this, you might ask, who's going to use this new Litterpic app? We have identified 4 target audiences: middle and high school students, small and large businesses, faith-based organizations, and environmental service groups. We found that this Litterpic app can be used with the days of service, park cleanup, community service, and volunteer hours. Specifically for middle and high school students, there is a requirement in Maine for them to have a certain amount of volunteer hours in order to graduate. Therefore, we find that them using the Litterpic app will provide us with the most feedback and the usage of the app when we first launch. So we move on to the last suggested implementation of diversified funding sources. So we look in 4 places. From $1 to $5,000, we wish to look to the Litterpic user donations. This will be present on the app, but also present on the website where you can click a donate button. Next, for the $500 to $5,000, we wish to allocate this from the private grants. Following, $5,000 to $25,000 come from state and federal grants. Lastly, $25,000 and above come from corporate sponsorships and fundraising events. So my team found it would be essential for ALEC to first reach out to a potential corporate sponsor to aid in Litterpic's app enhancement and expansion. So we chose to look at LL Bean. LL Bean, as you might know, is an outdoor clothing and equipment store native to Freeport, Maine. They incorporate sustainable practices in their operations and have a strong track record of supporting environmental conservation and outdoor recreation initiatives. LL Bean has invested more than $5.5 million in outdoor programs and community partnerships. Through our 3 suggested implementations, first, with the gamification framework, we believe that LL Bean can furnish gift cards and products as prizes. Next, for community engagement, we believe that there's a leverage in LL Bean's customer base in order to raise Litterpic's profile via events and social media presence. Lastly, the diversified funding sources, we believe that LL Bean can provide large donations and potentially defray costs using their in-house capabilities. So, in looking at the suggested implementations, there are also recommendations and next steps that we need to take. For the gamification framework, we suggest that ALEC redesign the app. Next, for community engagement, it is important for there to be Portland school outreach because we believe, as I stated before, that there will be the most transparent feedback and use from middle and high school students. Lastly, for the diversified funding sources, we ask that ALEC contact LL Bean because there will be the most benefit and expansion of the app. So altogether, this wraps up into the client deliverables, which is the final report and business plan. And then we will have a more in-depth briefing with our client to discuss the different implementations and recommendations that I discussed today. So this evening, I did take you all on an informative user journey as to how my team believes Litterpic can enhance their app to use gamification to spark community action. I hope this not only raised questions, but sparked interest in the great work of our client. So I just leave you with this. Would you download the app? Thank you.
Hi. Great presentation. Oh, sorry. I was wondering if you can expand a little bit more on your community engagement strategies.
Yes. So for community engagement, and we've kind of been doing this throughout the semester with our primary research team, and they can also speak to this if they'd like after. But we've been reaching out to different people who would potentially be interested in using the app, but also people who have that experience. And we found that in order to get the most users for Litterpic and to have it expand, that it would start with high schools first and then also within the businesses. And we found that because Alec has used Ally Bank before to use the app, that we used his feedback from that in order to pivot and find different target audiences.
You mentioned suggesting an app redesign. Are you looking to partner with current video game developers to work on that app redesign? And also, are you open to suggestions?
Yeah, I mean, the best part is our client, Alec, is a software developer. So he can design, which is great. And then what he's also looking to is just having first start volunteer designers or people freelance. So then he can pay them as they perform in that way. Yes.